veteran alien fighter haunted by what he saw humans do in war. Chapter 1: The Old Soldier. Commander Threx was older than most of his kind lived to be. His mandibles were chipped, his scales dulled, and his left eye glowed faintly with the replacement lens of a combat implant. To young recruits in the barracks, he was a legend. He had fought in 4 wars, across 9 systems, and faced horrors that would send most into madness. But there was one memory, one shadow, that followed him still. Not of the Draxian sieges. Not of the time his carrier burned in the nebula of Harkon. It was of the war where he had seen humans. Chapter 2: The Recruit's Laughter. Commander, one youngling asked one night, mandibles clicking in amusement, "Is it true you fought alongside the deathworlders?" The room erupted with laughter. To them, humans were myths, stories of fragile, loud creatures from a toxic cradle world who claimed to be predators. "Yes," Threx rasped. "I fought beside them. And against the things they fought. They are prey," another recruit scoffed. "Their bodies are weak, their lifespans pathetic." Threx's single eye narrowed. "You laugh because you do not understand. You mock because you have never watched a human in war." The laughter died at the weight in his tone. Chapter 3: The First Sight. He remembered the first time he saw them. The Alliance had assembled a coalition army to push back the Zorvian horde, a species of flesh-eaters who devoured entire populations. Threx's unit had been stationed on Vera 9, preparing for an inevitable siege. And then the humans arrived. Small in number. Thin compared to most warriors. Their armor was patchwork compared to the sleek plating of other species. Yet they carried themselves with a weight Threx couldn't name. They didn't look like soldiers. They looked like executioners. Chapter 4: The Siege. The Zorvians came like a flood. Waves of shrieking flesh, claws tearing, bodies regenerating faster than most could kill them. The Alliance line faltered. Species with centuries of war behind them broke and ran. But not the humans. Threx remembered the sound first, guns thundering in rhythm, explosions timed with unnatural precision. Humans fought like machines, but their eyes burned with feral light. When the Zorvians broke through the barricades, humans didn't retreat. They charged. Knife against claw, rifle but against fang. Screaming, bleeding, laughing. It was the first time Threx saw a soldier smile while covered in his own blood. Chapter 5: The Horror. But it wasn't just their ferocity. It was what came after. One night, after a brutal clash, the battlefield was littered with corpses. Most of the Alliance forces collapsed into exhaustion. The humans didn't rest. They scavenged. They stripped weapons from their enemies, repurposed their armor, and dragged their dead back only to salvage supplies from their own fallen. Threx watched one human sit beside his dying comrade, whispering something into his ear. When the soldier exhaled his last breath, the human calmly took his rifle, loaded it, and returned to the wall. No ceremony. No hesitation. Only survival. The recruits listening to Threx shivered. Chapter 6: The Unbreakable. Days turned into weeks. The siege dragged on. Species broke. Spirits shattered. But not the humans. They fought with broken bones. They fought with missing limbs, strapped into rigs that kept them upright. They fought with their bare hands when weapons were gone. Threx once saw a human soldier, gutted open and stumbling, ignite explosives against his own chest as Zorvians swarmed him. His final words, caught in the comms, still echoed in Threx's mind, "Don't wait up." They called it bravery. Threx called it something else. Something darker. Chapter 7: The Victory. When the siege finally ended, Vera 9 was ash. Of the Alliance forces, only fragments remained. Entire battalions of proud warriors were gone. But the humans were still there. Scarred. Fewer in number. yet still standing. The Zorvian horde, the most dreaded plague the galaxy had known, had been broken. Not by superior fleets. Not by brilliant strategy. But by humanity's refusal to die. Chapter 8. The Haunting. Back in the barracks, Threx's claws trembled as he drank from his ration flask. The recruits leaned in, silent now. You laugh at their fragility, Threx rasped. You mock their size, their soft skin, their short lives. But tell me, what species smiles at death? What species makes a weapon out of its own corpse? He looked up, his single eye burning. I have seen humans laugh as the world burned. I have seen them fight until nothing was left of them but blood and ash. And I tell you this. His voice cracked, filled with a weight none of them expected. Nothing in this galaxy haunts me more than the sound of a human laughing in war. Epilogue. The Quiet. When the recruits finally left, Threx remained alone. He closed his eye, but sleep didn't come. It never did. Because when silence fell, he always heard it again, that terrible, joyous laugh echoing in the fire, the laugh of a creature who had embraced death as an old friend. And he wondered, as he always had since that war, if the galaxy's most dreaded species had truly been the Zorvians, or if it had always been the humans.